Hi, my name is Josiah Wilmot. I am 28 years old, and I am a videographer and photographer with Cause Marketing Agency, and I'm here to tell you more about Josiah Wilmot. To me, what it means to be a videographer, for example, when I go out to an event, whether it be a comic book convention or a wedding or a birthday party, or I'm shooting a promotional video or commercial, whatever it might be, I try to capture what I call the emotional atmosphere. So when I'm going out to an event, I'm not just, capturing images on my camera. I'm trying to figure out what the event feels like, and I'm trying to capture that in the video that I create. So basically, to me, what it means to be a videographer is that you're capturing the emotion of whatever kind of project you're working on. You're capturing that emotion on camera. I feel there's many different avenues to becoming a videographer. the way that I did it, and probably one of the most common, is you start out in film school, then you pick up a camera, and then you maybe even start out in photography before you move over to videography. You learn how to use your camera, all the different settings, how they work together, proper exposure. Then from there it's really just about going out and shooting and getting as much experience as you can. You have to develop your creative eye, learning to look for creative angles that are going to add more depth to your image, lighting, figuring out how that hits your subject, and how you can make your shot look more dynamic and give it more depth through lighting as well. And so yeah, it's basically just going out there, getting as much experience as you can, and then from there you can start putting yourself out there. Once you have some kind of a demo reel you can show people, you move on from there, and then you start getting paid work. So yeah, it's just mainly about getting as much experience as you can. So there's a few things that I look for when I go to shoot an event that help me capture the emotional atmosphere of what's going on. So the first thing that I do is I try to capture how people are reacting to the things that are happening at the event. So for example, if I'm shooting a video for a wedding, I'm going to try to find as many people that are smiling, just happy, upbeat, just animated, because they're going to be a reflection of the way that day felt emotionally. So that's one way I try to capture that on camera, is through the people that are there. Also, the location as well, and the lighting, just the mood, the overall ambiance, if you will, of that location. So if I'm at a reception, a lot of times there's a different colored lights, especially when people are dancing, a lot of things going on with that lighting. So, I try to find the most creative way possible that's going to reflect the way that location felt, through the lighting, through the types of angles that, you can only find at that location. And then the rest of it is just in framing and in composition. So it's just observing the overall tone of how people are reacting to the things that are going on, and then just trying to find the creative angles or the creative lighting in that location. And that all just kind of enhances the feeling of the event, or what's being captured on camera. When I'm working with a client, generally it's their vision that I have to make come to life on camera, if you will. But I get to use the creative tools that I have to kind of build the process to get to that final result. So say I'm shooting a promotional video for someone, I kind of have to go with their vision, because they have a certain way that they want their company or their brand to be represented. But it's my job to create that step-by-step process to get that final result. If I'm out there shooting, I have to find the most visually interesting way to represent what that client has envisioned for their company, or whatever it is, whatever type of client that I'm working with. So I was in film school when I first got into videography, photography, and what initially interested me in it was the creative freedom it allowed me to have. and that's really stuck with me through the years. I've tried other creative outlets, but I always end up coming back to videography, photography, filmmaking, and I just really enjoy the flexibility that medium allows me to have creatively. Creative endeavors that I've tried is music. I've played guitar on and off since I was about 18 years old. I even tried to study music theory in college after I finished film school. Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm sure as most creatives are. And that's something that's held me back a lot, especially with music. But I've kind of had to learn how to put that aside, especially with videography, because mistakes is really the only way you learn and grow. So since dropping out of college and everything, I kind of put my focus mainly on videography, and music kind of went to the back burner for the moment. Definitely something I want to get back into, but just for right now, videography being my main career, that's kind of where my focus is at. If my life were a book, I feel like it'd be called like The Real Life Adventures of Don Quixote. Sometimes I feel like I'm going out to fight a dragon, sword up, and get over there, and there's windmills, and you made a fool out of yourself. Hey, you had fun in the process. So I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, sometimes I feel like Don Quixote, so I feel like that's what the name of my book would be. One piece of advice that I would give to other creatives would be to not be afraid to make mistakes. I've struggled with being a perfectionist for many years, but that has really just held me back in the long run, and it slowed down my ability to grow and to improve the quality of the work that I produce. So, when you're out there shooting, I mean, you do need to be concerned with the quality that you are getting out, but also you don't want to go in there feeling anxious or nervous about what you need to do, because you're concerned it's not going to be perfect enough. So if you can go in there a little more relaxed and just being okay with making those mistakes and learning and growing from them, I think your work will improve a lot more quickly than it would if you were more concerned with, how perfect it looks. I have for new videographers and photographers, basically just go out and shoot. You need that practical experience to train your creative eye, to learn how to use your camera, how the different settings work together to get a proper exposure, and also just learn as much as you can about it. Watch YouTube videos, read articles, read books. Learn and ingest as much information as you can. Learn from other creatives. There's a lot of really good YouTube channels that go through different techniques, and they show you step by step how to do that to get a certain look. Also, have a look in mind that you're going for. For example, I'm going for a more cinematic look in the work that I do. I'm not quite there yet, but since I have a vision for what I want, I basically have a roadmap for how to get there, and then the mistakes that I do make, I know how to adjust to get to where I'm going. So basically, get out there and shoot. Learn as much as you possibly can from any medium you can, whether it be social media or YouTube or just the internet in general, books. Just learn and ingest as much as you can, and then have a vision for the look or the style that you're going for, and then learn how to recreate that, and then on the way you kind of put together your own style, and you have your own look with what you do. So yeah, just get out and shoot, and we're good. What do I want the world to know about me? That's a bit of a difficult question to answer because I feel like I haven't really done anything yet that I want the world to know about. But I like to see myself more as a storyteller rather than just a videographer or photographer, because I want my work to make a positive and profound impact on people's lives. And you do that by creating an emotional connection with people. And you create that connection through a well-crafted story. So that's really what I want to do moving forward in the future, is just to tell well-crafted stories so that I can create an emotional connection with people so they actually feel something when they're watching my work.